The hospital room was silent, except for the rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor. The air smelled of antiseptic and fading hope. Outside the window, the sky had turned a somber shade of gray, as if mourning the inevitable. On the hospital bed lay Thomas Gallagher, a man in his 70s, his once powerful frame reduced to frail bones and thinning skin. His breaths were shallow, his eyes heavy, but their depth held a storm of unspoken truths. Surrounding him were his closest family members, his wife Margaret, their two sons Daniel and Michael, and his daughter Evelyn. Each face bore the weight of sorrow, their gazes fixed on the patriarch they all admired. Thomas shifted slightly, grimacing at the pain that shot through his body. He knew this was his last night. There was no miracle waiting at the end of this road, only the darkness that had claimed so many before him. But before he left, he had one final burden to unload, a truth that had been buried for over 4 decades. He cleared his throat, his voice weak but urgent. "There's something I need to tell you all before I go," he said. Margaret reached for his hand, squeezing it gently. "You don't have to, love. Just rest." He shook his head. "No, Margaret. I've hidden this for too long. You all deserve to know the truth about our family." Evelyn furrowed her brows. "Dad, what do you mean?" Ugh. Thomas inhaled sharply, preparing himself for the storm he was about to unleash. 45 years ago, he began, his voice carrying the weight of decades, "I made a terrible mistake. One that changed our family's fate forever." His children exchanged glances, their concern deepening. "It was the summer of 1979. I was young, ambitious, reckless. Your mother and I had just gotten married. Life was good. But then I met someone else." Margaret's grip on his hand loosened. Her lips parted slightly, but she said nothing. She had loved this man for half a century had he betrayed her. Thomas's voice wavered. Her name was Eleanor. A thick silence settled over the room. She was beautiful, mysterious, and unlike anyone I had ever met. I was drawn to her in a way I couldn't explain. What started as an innocent friendship quickly spiraled into something more. "I was unfaithful," Evelyn gasped. Daniel clenched his jaw. Michael looked away. "But that's not the worst part," Thomas continued, his eyes welling with regret. "Eleanor became pregnant." Margaret's hands trembled. "My God, Thomas. She gave birth to a son. A boy I never acknowledged. I left them. I walked away and never looked back. The air in the room grew unbearably heavy. ... And now, after all these years, I can't leave this world without making things right." He turned his gaze toward Evelyn, his voice breaking. "Eleanor passed away 10 years ago. But her son, my son, is still out there. And Evelyn, he's closer to you than you think." Evelyn felt her blood run cold. "What are you saying?" Thomas swallowed hard. "His name is James Carter." Her heart nearly stopped. James Carter. Her husband. Evelyn stumbled back, her breath coming in sharp gasps. "No, that's impossible." "I'm so sorry," Thomas whispered. "I never told you because I was ashamed. When I learned who he was, it was already too late. You two were already married." Daniel shot up from his chair. "You mean to tell us that Evelyn has been married to our half-brother this whole time?" Michael's face turned pale. Evelyn's hands trembled. Her entire marriage had been built on a lie. "Does he know?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Thomas hesitated, then nodded. "Yes, he found out a year ago." A sob escaped her lips. "And he didn't tell me?" Thomas's voice grew weaker. He was afraid. Afraid of what it would do to you, to the family. He came to me, begging for the truth, but I told him to keep it buried. I thought I was protecting you. But now I see I was only protecting myself. Tears streamed down Evelyn's face. I loved him. I still do. But now I don't even know who he is anymore. Margaret wiped away her own tears, staring at the man she had shared her life with. Thomas, how could you do this to us? I was a coward, he admitted. I chose silence over honesty. And now I don't deserve your forgiveness. But before I go, I need you all to know I never stopped loving this family. Even with my sins, you were always my greatest joy. The heart monitor began to slow. His time was running out. Evelyn stood over her father, her emotions a whirlwind of grief, betrayal, and love. What do I do now, Dad? Thomas gave a weak smile. That's up to you, but don't make the same mistakes I did. Don't let secrets destroy your family. A single tear slipped down his cheek. I love you all. I always have. And with that, the heart monitor let out its final prolonged beep. Margaret let out a quiet sob, placing a trembling hand over her husband's chest. Evelyn, Daniel, and Michael stood in stunned silence, their worlds forever changed. The truth had finally come to light. But the question remained, what would they do with it now?